All right, what's up, everybody? I'm programming for the weekend, and we're gonna go on a little journey. And I've already started a little bit, but I haven't finished it. And I'm gonna kind of talk out loud some of the decisions that I'm making, why I'm making them, what I'm thinking, and we're just gonna walk through kind of this programming process and see what we come up with. So the song is Wind of Love, and something that I wanted was the quantum washes, these guys. So I wanted them in a kind of straight out wide look, because I want to basically paint this color effect that is going across them. So it's a wing, so it's mirrored, so it's coming from the inside. That's just a phase of, I think I have a phase of 0 through 180 through 0. And that's just kind of bringing it in. And it just gives this nice, just general wash. But we needed, because I don't have them super bright, this is actually at 1% brightness. And because I just want it to show up on cameras a little bit, I don't really want it to punch up, which if we do that, that's how bright they are. Don't want that. But just these alone is a little bit, pretty lackluster even for a beginning. So what I wanted to add in were these 155s, kind of doing the same sort of effect. So when we have them both in, and it's this idea of like letting the wind of love blow. And yes, I'm doing the classic. I haven't seen visual, I don't think we've picked visuals yet, but it is that classic, like love is red. So I'm going with that white and red kind of theme. It'll probably change, the color palette will probably change, but this idea of just a kind of a color blowing across the fixtures, kind of blowing across the rig, something that I really wanted to do. Not much changes between the intro and the verse, but when we get into the chorus, the first chorus is really down, but I wanted to add in the Diablos. I've got this animation wheel on it. It's really nice. And I wanted to just continue that, kind of going from one side of the stage to the other, as this thing is kind of blowing across the stage. We go back into the verse, still not much changes. So even from the verse to the chorus, you can kind of notice the 155s dim down, because again, I want, in terms of like characters of what is playing what role when, I want the the quantums are sort of setting the stage. During the chorus, the 155s are there, but they're going to take a step back because the Diablos are going to kind of take a little bit of a lead role during that chorus. And in the verse, we're going to bring the 155s back a little bit. Then the second chorus is much bigger. So the other thing is, I played around with the positioning of the Diablos. So originally they were kind of in this down and in look, and then I have this like cross look, and so everything was very in, and I was like, I really want it, like this idea of the wind of love blowing to kind of push out into the crowd. So that's why I did this. I kept the side Diablos, these guys, down, because I want the cameras to catch that, and I want the stage to see that. But I wanted these top Diablos to kind of push out into the crowd a little bit. We're still in the first chorus, but then when you have them at full, in their full like dimmer, it really gives this nice, like it's really sort of pushing out in that second chorus. And you can see the kind of the blowing. Everything else is the same. The quantums are the same. I didn't pull the 155s back because I want that energy to continue to build. So we're in this kind of like bridge tag right here. So this bridge tag is really where we're gonna live a little bit at the end. So I really want to play with that. and get us in a good spot in terms of just dynamics. So we're probably gonna still live in that red and white, or maybe a two-tone color. But I want the Diablos, because they're pretty prominent here. Once we get to this, the Quantums are really my heavy hitter fixture. Once we get to this point, I want the Quantums to really take center stage. And yeah, they're pretty straight on this whole time. I think what I want to do is I'm going to zoom this in and let's just play around with some positions. That looks nice. Crowd overhead. What does down look like? Oh, I don't want down. Overhead. Wide X overhead. No, I want that. I like the way that looks, but I really want them, and they're doing this nice effect across all of them. This nice like dimmer effect across, and which is fine. I like it, but I actually want it to. I'm a big symmetrical guy. I think it helps the rig all work together. So we're gonna play around with some symmetrical looks here. The other thing that I will play with also is transition and width to kind of get exactly what I'm looking for. That's nice. That's real nice. So this is the bridge tag at the end, which is where like it's kind of where we end. And then it comes down, which down right here. Which I want to do. I don't want to go back to my straight look, like my straight crowd, and like I don't really want to do a callback to that, because musically we're ending, the plane is landing. I do want to come down, and I want to go and do a wide. And let's actually just store that. Let's just see how that looks. It's a 10-second fade. And I think there is a lot of value added, or not really value added. I like the feeling of it, of when it is like, even musically, if it comes down quick, if the lights kind of lack behind, they kind of take their time coming down, because I think that adds just a little bit of like, there's still some sustain there. There's still some like, it just kind of continues that moment. And so I don't necessarily think, or really even want the lights to come down along with the speed of which it changes musically. I think it's okay if it takes its time. So let's listen to, you can kind of hear it. I'm more. So here we are. We'll add more because dynamically there's just not a lot going on. The other thing is I still have this gobo here, or it's the animation wheel. I'm just gonna add it in just to get it in the programmer, or in the queue. Just see what it looks like. They're moving around, they're doing some stuff. So see how it comes down. Musically, it's already down, but the lights are still taking their time. They're still pretty bright, taking their time fading down. Honestly, I might extend that a little bit. Just maybe by 2. It was a 10-second fade. I added 2 seconds, so it's a 12-second. The Diablos are still in there from before. So they're here, and then also we're gonna just put those to balanced white. I'm not really gonna mess with color quite yet. But I really like that. I like the breakup of the gobo with the beam of the Quantums. I like the the spot look. But they are kind of overpowering the Diablos a bit. And on camera it might be fine. I also want to make sure I don't have some sort of color effect, because the color's kind of funny across all of them. So yeah, maybe I do look at a color. And again, the colors are just placeholders. That looks really cool. That might be the move there. Or something that I do also like to do is just continue an effect all the way through. So maybe we do that here. So we have red and balanced white. That's what we were doing at the beginning of the song. But I might change it up a bit and do something crazy and go balanced white to, or I was balanced white to red before. Now I'm going to do red to balanced white, going nuts. And let's just see how this looks with everything. And I don't know, I was going out to in. Maybe I do in to out. But I also like it going across. That looks really nice too. The BPM, something that I like to do, and it's just kind of a standard of mine, is I'll always put the BPM of the song and the speed. So the speed of this color effect, I just typed in 84 divided by 4. So I do multiples of 2 so that I kind of stay on some sort of beat. But at least the speed of them matches the speed of the song. That looks really nice. You get a nice blend of red and white in there. Again, these are just placeholder colors. And then with, I've got a dimmer effect on the quantums also. It's actually kind of falls back a little bit more with the addition of the color effect. And I might even dial that back a little bit more. So right now it's at a 20. Let's see what it's 20 to 100. Let's see what 20 to a 50 does. And actually, let me drop that down to maybe 5. 5 on the low and 50 on the high. That kind of falls away a little bit more than I would like it to. 75. So it's a 5 to 75. Let me bring that up to a 10. Yeah, that looks really nice.